Look, today we're going to chat about this topic: why don't people achieve results? Honestly, it turns out everything's dead simple, really. I'll be straight with you. I didn't want to believe it myself. I thought there was some sort of secret, something unique, something different you had to do, and then you get the result. But as it turns out, it's not just one thing you have to do. There are at least two things, you could say, at least two actions, and honestly, you could probably go on forever with more. At least two actions. Which ones? You have to do it regularly. And the second thing is, you have to do it while providing some sort of value. Not just anything, although even something funny can count, because you see, it still has the value of humour in it. That's why people watch it. If it's just something without any meaning, reasoning, or any sort of idea, then basically it won't really get much traction. For example, I don't even know what to come up with. Probably have a think yourself. What, in your opinion, is something so simple that you'd watch it once and that's it? Or maybe you wouldn't even want to watch it at all. But it just so happened that you watched it because you thought about that image just now, for example. You get what I'm saying, yeah? And the first point I mentioned was consistency. But look, consistency doesn't mean it's the same for everyone. You don't have to do it every day or every minute or every hour. So this whole idea of consistency, it's different for everyone. In my view, my ideal sort of consistency is once a week. Like, ideally, that's a must-do for me, but I actually haven't done it for the past month and a half, you know? So you might wonder, why haven't I been doing it? Seemed like I'd run out of material, and on the other hand, I was just on holiday, so honestly, I didn't feel like doing it. I don't know if that's right or wrong, that's just license. Although, really, I could have made 3 or 4 videos and posted them regularly. But as it turned out, I didn't post anything at all. But on the other hand, I sort of already have an audience of ready patients at the moment. They're ready and they're basically on their way, you know? So I've got a bit of a plan B, and that's why I realise I don't have to post videos regularly because people have already found me through my old videos. That's why, as I probably mentioned here before, you need to post on social media in a few different formats: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, maybe even Facebook and so on. Across all those big social networks, because their algorithms work in an interesting way, while you're asleep, the system shows your video to other people, and that's really great. The only real fee here is putting yourself out there, showing yourself to people and so on. Follow the link in the description and check out how I made my Russian language channel, a Russian language one on YouTube. You won't see my face there, just my hands. And to be honest, that's actually the right way to go, because my face isn't really necessary there. There's my voice, there are my hands, and then if anyone wants to, they can check out my photos on social media and see what I look like as a whole. So the person already gets an idea of who I am. People get the impression and understanding that, professionals at work here, posting everything on YouTube and all that, so it creates an image, a professional image. So you don't have to put yourself out there straight away. If you want to, though, no worries, go for it. For example, right now, I'll let you in on a secret. I'm doing things the way that's easiest for me. That's how I can gather my thoughts. At the moment, I'm recording on my phone, just using the voice recorder. Then, using AI, artificial intelligence, I'll animate a photo and sync it up with the audio. And that's how you get the video you're watching right now. So if you have a closer look at this picture, you might notice the face moves a bit weirdly or looks a bit unnatural. But honestly, about 80% of the time, from what I've seen, it actually looks pretty spot on, like a real person. About 80%. But for the other 20%, if you pay attention, you'll spot a few little inconsistencies. But they're such minor things that, to be honest, most people probably wouldn't even notice. Because really, there's nothing too special going on here, nothing out of the ordinary, just a person, that's all. Honestly, it's like it's me. And it animates really well, to be fair. It animates almost exactly like a real person. It's just more comfortable for me this way, you know? Because when I tried recording videos on camera, I found it hard to gather my thoughts. When I'm on camera, I tend to freeze up, get stuck, or just stop altogether. But when I'm recording on a voice recorder now, I walk around and talk at the same time. It just feels right for me. I can't stand still. You know what I mean? That's just one of those things, really. Listen to your body. See where it takes you, where it wants to go. Because when you start talking, letting out what's inside you, when you start expressing it outwardly. Everyone's got their own ideal situation, the perfect position. Maybe you need to move or sit or lie down or even close your eyes. It's different for everyone. And you need to feel how it works best for you and do it in that way as much as possible. Because the position of your body, the way you feel comfortable, matters when you're telling your story, whether it's into a recorder or on camera. So the position of your body, it'll give you the best possible efficiency. Basically, the highest return, percentage-wise, from you telling your story into that same recorder or on camera, because your body will feel comfortable. That's it, that's just how it behaves. It feels good. Now, about timing as well. Personally, I felt comfortable, just intuitively, doing it once a week. Because I tried posting more often, sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't, and I tried posting less often, and again, the results were mixed. Sometimes it was completely unclear how things turned out, but they turned out really well. So just do whatever feels comfortable for you. I realised I was in it for the long haul, so my goal wasn't to burn through all my material straight away. It's better if I post once a week or every couple of weeks, but at least I'll be doing it regularly for 6 months or a year. And in that case, there's a good chance that social media will just pick you up. Because if you're posting videos over that sort of time frame, and they're at least interesting, not dumb or dead-end ones, but genuinely interesting, then there's a really good chance you'll manage to break through in some area. You get what I mean, yeah? So something's bound to work out, and most likely it'll be something decent, at the very least not a total flop. That's why you'll end up doing it all regularly and carefully, rather than just churning out video after video every single day, which, honestly, you'd only be able to keep up for a short while. So my approach is to do it weekly. You could do it monthly, for example. I've seen different YouTube channels where they put out one awesome video that goes for an hour and a half or 2 hours, something about the scientific history of quantum physics or other topics, AI and all sorts of things like that. And that video runs for about 2 hours and they release it once a month. So everyone's got their own timelines. I settled on about once a week or maybe every 2 weeks. And honestly, that worked out pretty well. So everyone's got their own understanding here. You got to choose. You got to figure out what works for you and just do it that way.